Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Moa, and today we're going to talk about the Plagzaws, since Plagstar has been just announced and is coming up. I want to do a quick video about two Plagzaw builds that you can do, one for the Kripath and one for the Kiwar. We will start with the Kripath. The Kripath has been kind of the golden goose of Zaws, as far as time in memoriam, as far as it has existed. Primarily because both Plagzaws have Viral in their base stats, which is incredible on weapons like this. And it's not just Viral, it's a low percentage of Viral somewhat, so it's not going to outweigh some procs that you might have, like, for example, Electricity for melee influence. But this is what we're working with. We're working with the Krustra, the Plague Kripath, and the Vargeet Jai 2. If you guys remember what that means, that is crit based, speed over damage, and it is the 25, I think 12 split. And also, because these are the Plagzaws, they have an extra bonus stat. Either if it is the Kripath, it will have bonus crit chance. If it is the Kiwar, it will have bonus status chance. I think it is 2 or 4%. But, yeah, it's 4%, yes. So this is the build we're working with here. Not set in stone. Like, some of these, like, Boreal's Contempt is personal preference. You could probably swap this for Condition Overload if you really wanted to. That's perfectly fine. Go with this for the combo count chance. You could probably also go with Exodia Force as well, honestly. That's not bad either. But as we're looking at, so like I said, the good thing about Viral is that you don't need a mod for it, so you get lots and lots of mod space to work with here. We're basically going for, hybrid crit status. That's why we're going with the more even split this time than we are, like, leaning fully into crit or fully into status. I have found that, having enough crit to, because this is hitting about consistent yellow-orange range. It's hitting over 100%, so you have that working for you. And then you have, the status is more than enough with Weeping Wounds. That's not an issue at all. And then us having, like, all the status damage from Boreal's Contempt. That's just another multiplier on top of everything else that we can squeeze into this. Like I said, I use the Krustra for preference. If you want to, you are fully welcome to swap out the Krustra for the faster grip. That works, and then you can maybe cut Berserker Fury for, say, Galvanized Elementalist if you really want to, and have it perform with that. But this is the build that I like, this is what I'm comfortable with, and I think it works just fine. I'm not going to be doing full tests on these. Mind you, because I'm showing off too, and that would create a lot of annoying editing that I would have to do. But we will show it against the heavy gunners here. I use the block combo for this. Once you get the Berserker Fury going, then it really ramps up. Yeah, we're hitting consistent orange-red. I like the block combo for the polearms primarily because it launches you forward very, very efficiently. Shimmering Blight is also good as well. I think that's actually probably the one that I prefer. Because Shimmering Blight, during its block combo, has a spin on it, which is actually really effective. You'll see it right here, and it's pretty fast. So you get a wide range of enemy hits with it. And when you're doing melee influence, that's going to dramatically kind of increase your speed at hitting enemies. And we'll do it a second time with the ramp up. Just to show that as well. Because I think that is important. And see, once you get the ramp up, they really start to melt down. Very, very quick. We'll show it a second time just for posterity. Like I said, the reason why I have the Cruiser as well is I have a ribbon that covers a bunch of mod slots, so that is kind of influencing the way I build it. But like I said, if you have a faster grip, then this is obviously going to perform a lot better. You might, like I said, you could probably cut Berserker Fury if you need to. But like I said, I like the way this looks a lot. I think that this is a really nice melee weapon configuration. But anyways, on to the Kiwar. So this is a much different build. This is a full crit build, primarily. The Kiwar has extra status chance. But this is a Scythe. And for this, we are going to be using a heavy attack build. Which is this. We're getting the elemental damage because we are primarily relying on Reaping Spirals. Where is it? The heavy attack, Fading Hope, it is a forced slash and knockdown, meaning that it will benefit from melee afflictions, right? So melee afflictions will basically multiply whatever you're hitting them with by 6, and when you have a 5x combo count with Galvanized Reflex, that is very, very repeatable. You get a really, really good high damage melee that is grinding them into pace with insanely large slash procs. This is probably a more solid build than the other one. I think that this build is fine as is. You could also opt for Exodia Brave if you want the energy regen as well. That is a very good option. That's a what was that, 15 energy per second roughly when you get it to max. So if you want an option for, energy economy, that is presented to you. Like you'd probably use this on Kalervo pretty effectively, I would imagine. He would very much like something like this. I will say there is a benefit of, so this is kind of a give and take. So versus the Dockram, it can also be a Scythe. Now, the Dockram lacks the innate viral that this does, obviously, because it is not a Plague Saw, and it also gets, doesn't have that bonus status chance, which is fine. But what it does have is, I think it has a slightly bigger range than the Kiwar, which I think is really nice. Now, this can obviously be remedied with a Riven. Rivens for Zaws are generally pretty cheap if you want to pick one up. Get some range on it, maybe get something else. I think I have 2 of them here. This one's crit chance, crit damage. This one's range, crit chance, finisher damage, minus impact for that weighting. So that's always really nice. But, like I said, if you just get some range on it, that helps a lot. You can probably swap out Blood Rush, range crit chance, or, range attack speed. You can swap this out. Range melee damage. Again, there's a lot of, messing around you can do with this. You have plenty of options. Like I said, this is a very high single target damage, heavy attack weapon. Yeah, you see, once we get the ramp up here, it really starts to hurt. You might see a couple hit in the millions. Yeah, oh, that's 12 million right there. These things hit like a truck. Like, you could probably honestly axe, like, Blood Rush. You probably don't even need that because this is doing more damage than you could ever realistically need. You could probably axe Blood Rush for some quality of life. I would imagine if you are so inclined to do so. That is perfectly valid, because again, the numbers that you're getting out of this are absolutely ridiculous, especially if you hit a viral proc on it, too. That will give you those, like, 13,000 ones. And like I said, you can see that the range is a little bit to be desired. I will show it with the ribbon on in a moment, just to show how much of a difference that range does make. Like I said, I think the Kiwar is obviously the lesser of the two. Again, the crit path is unmatched. It has kind of always been the king of the Zaws, just for its innate viral and, really... Yeah, you can see how much more that range matters. Because now I can hit, like, these much larger groups. And it just does so much damage. And like I said, this one gets that impact weighting off as well, so, like, you're more likely to hit the viral. Yeah, the range makes a lot of a difference if you are trying to build these. Let me look at one of my dock rims here, just to compare, because this thing has, at base, it has 4.7 with primed reach, and then the dock rim. This one you're looking at. Let's see here, just with primed reach alone. Okay, actually, you're looking at about not too much of a difference. I thought it was much bigger for some reason, but no, this is definitely then the QR is definitely objectively better. I don't know why I had that in my head, but either way, the QR again, fantastic heavy attack build. Might need a Riven if you really want to get like the good feel out of it. Crit Path is always going to be amazing as a choice. You know, Crit Path also has rapier builds. Rapier builds, like, if you really like rapiers, then Crit Path also does that as well. I have this. This is a pure status build. Not a whole lot going on here. But, you know, if you're a fan of rapiers and you want a really, really good one, this is the Zaw for you. Since I know rapiers don't get a lot of love in the game, more or less, but this should be more than sufficient enough if you're looking for a real good one. As I said, performs masterfully, is probably just as good, if not better in some ways, than the polearm. Like I said, I just prefer the polearm because of the higher reach. Although rapiers naturally have a very, very fast stance, and this is also a speed-built one. And this is without, you know, having a crit mix in there as well. You can include some of that if you so desire. That will also, you know, give this a decent boost as well. But that is going to do it. I hope you all enjoy Plague Zaw, and I hope you get a million Forma, and you get some good Zaws out of it. Don't forget to subscribe, and hop over to Twitch every so often. I stream on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, doing live recording, you know, farming, whatever have you. And I will see you all next time.